Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Hello, everyone!
Hi!
Another episode of Hypecast!
Hype!
It's
Cast.
the show where we get hyped about stuff and or things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
Welcome back, Tom.
Aw.
I'm your co-host, David Bell. You remember me, right?
No.
You remember me? You remember the old life?
Sort of. I've forgotten your face. Like, I can...
Yeah.
Like, they can place the name, but, like, face, nothing. It's a blur. You're just a blur. You're
That's
a
fair.
blurry blob in my memory.
My mom says that about me every day.
Mhm.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm Logan Trent.
Boom!
Hey!
Smoothly
Good.
sliding
Yeah.
in there.
Good job.
The
Good job.
stealth.
That was great. Hi, Logan.
Yeah.
How are you?
Expertly done.
Not bad. Just very, very hot, as we mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks.
It's hot. Summer.
Yeah. Regardless
The
of
world
where
is
you are in
burning.
this fucking country, in this fucking
Yep.
world.
Yep.
Shit's hot.
Yeah.
Too hot.
It's just real hot. I'm in a closet with a banjo that keeps reverberating every time my voice
Let's get a...
raises above a certain level.
Can we get
Banjo
a few...
cast.
Yeah, can we get a few strums?
Woo.
Strums on that banjo?
It's
or
badly
what?
out of tune. You guys probably heard that. I don't know. I don't know how to play the banjo.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You should learn, right?
I could learn.
We should both learn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do. That's what we've been building up to, is so Dave and I can resurrect Hee Haw.
Right.
I like the idea of this being the setup for a horror movie. It's a haunted banjo.
It might be.
I just like two guys being like, I want to learn banjo as a setup for a horror
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Two guys wanting to learn banjo, and that somehow goes horribly wrong.
Yeah. The banjo has the spirit of like 5 serial killers in there from each string. Like, yeah.
Right.
all the former murderers that played the banjo.
Yeah.
What would it be called?
A lot of history on that banjo.
Bad Joe?
Bad,
There's gotta be a
bad
better
Joe,
title.
yeah.
Bad note. Or
Bad
Bad
Note.
Joe. Yeah,
Mm.
Bad Joe. Yeah. I think Bad Joe is the probably best version of that.
All right. Someone make a poster. We're waiting.
Yeah.
We'll wait while you
Yes.
make a poster.
While we're waiting
For Bad Joe.
for the poster for Bad Joe, the key art for Bad Joe, let's thank some producers, Dave.
All right. Big thank you to Hombre Says on behalf of the Gamefully Unemployed patrons. Welcome back, Tom.
Hey,
We missed ya.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank you.
it's true. Big thank you to Heathcliff's Helping Handfuls.
Thank
you. Thank you to the conveniently placed self-destruct button on the top of every baby's head.
So useful,
Thank you to
so useful.
Yeah, so useful.
Mm.
Thank you to Samuel Beckett's Donuts and Mortgage Emporium.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Snapper Car Punches God in the Dick.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to At Nerd Numbers.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mike the Lurker.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dracula, the bus driving vampire.
Thank you.
Thank you to Brockway Loves the Meat Millie.
God, he
Thank
loves
you.
it so much, little meat millie freak.
Little Meat Millie. Thank you to David Knife
Boot.
Hansen.
That one
Thank
angered the bad Joe when I said that.
you. Oh no.
Let me take over now. Thank you to Grumblebee.
Thank you.
Thank you to Screaming Horse Pyramid.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to Look Bob on a podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you to Seismic Charge Noise. Thank you to
Wow.
Deborah's Awesome Barbara's Great Cancer Go to Hell.
Thank you.
Thank you to Numino Ultra Microscopic Silica Volcano Coniosis Anti-Digital Establishmentarianism Jones.
Yeah.
Thank you to the
Back and look low.
baby from Eraserhead.
Thank you.
I'm going to do the rest of this like a beat poet. Thank you to Chiz Lily Tits.
Thank you.
Thank you to these 7 Bs.
Thank you.
Thank you to Breezy Ruizy.
Thank you.
Yeah, snaps.
Doing the snapping.
Yeah. Thank you. All right.
So they've got this trailer for Day Shift on Netflix where like Jamie Foxx is hunting vampires for his day and stuff, and I kind of want Dracula the bus driving vampire to make an appearance in there.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Dracula's like day gig, like he's like I get bored at home, you know?
Right. I always imagined it was like it's hard because like I guess this is a daywalker Dracula, right? Because otherwise is it night school bus, but like that's. Oh, I guess it doesn't have to be a school bus, does it?
I think it's funnier if it's a school bus.
It is funnier,
yeah. I think it's funnier as right, because school bus drivers are always such weirdos. So the one kids are like, we got literally Dracula. And he's just yelling at the kids. He can't stand it.
Hey, stay behind the line, bleh.
Yeah, he's retired.
No, not flossing in the bed, bleh. Yeah. Don't make me bet back there, bleh.
It's good stuff.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
But that's not a trailer we have. We have the trailer for another Netflix movie called Do Revenge. This is Heather's, but modern.
Strangers on a Train.
Sort of. Oh yeah. It's a few things.
Yeah, it's a few things.
It's Throw Mama from the Train, right?
Yes, Dave, that's right.
Yeah. just
Hoist Mama from the locomotive.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, I think it's purposefully trying to invoke. Like, there's the croquet stuff where it's like, oh, that is straight up Heather's.
Yeah.
It's the modern version of these stories.
These types of movies, yeah, where two teenage girls trade revenge, which probably is going to end in a murder. They seem to hint at that. And it's
one of them hawks.
Yeah, it's one of them hawks. Yeah, one of them Maya hawks.
Yeah,
Maya Hawke and Camila Mendez from Riverdale. So
this looks pretty fantastic.
I mean, I'm into this. Like some of the jokes in the trailer were a little like, yeah, okay, like that's, but like most, like 85% of this trailer, I was like fully on board for.
Yeah, I got a little bit of Bodies vibe, where it's like a new generation of teens that I feel like aren't necessarily being written by teens. Does that make sense? Where it feels like we're fully out of the millennial, teen movies.
I feel like that happens every generation. I'm sure that happens.
Yeah, it's millennials writing Gen Z.
Yeah. No, it absolutely happens every generation. It's just neat to be like, oh, we're there.
Yeah, we're there. We've crossed the event horizon.
Right, and it's very visible. It's a very visible line right now, so that's interesting.
The thing that made me really laugh in this trailer is Camila Mendez opening with like, I'm 17 years old, and I'm like, they literally just did like a 7-year time jump on Riverdale because all of your old asses are like 27 now.
Right.
So it's like, she's just going back.
They've all shifted into Judd Nelson territory.
Archie Andrews served in the war. They don't say which war. They just have a war that he served in, did his entire tour, and came back, and now he has PTSD. There's a lot of things happening on Riverdale. So
maybe we should do Riverdale cast, Dale cast, or River cast.
Dale cast?
I will absolutely guest on that on every episode if possible. No, Riverdale is fantastically weird. But yeah, it's just, like I said, it's one of those things where, like you were saying, it feels like it's written by like older than Gen Z people, and it's definitely starring people who are all in their 20s. So it's kind of a little off, but not in a way that makes you kind of like cringe.
Yeah. I highly agree. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
And the best part is I don't have to go anywhere. It's on Netflix.
No,
Click.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's written by at least one of the writers of the new Thor Love and Thunder, Jennifer Caton Robinson, which is interesting. That's interesting to me. She also directed it, so I don't know what that means. She hasn't done that much. She definitely has been involved with Marvel. She was a producer on Hawkeye, so I don't know. That doesn't.
Thank you for all this additional information.
Yeah, I was going to say that doesn't give me any more information. This does look good, so I don't know.
I'm into this.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see Maya Hawke in this type of role, where she's like less confident and more Yeah.
It's closer to...
She's going to blow up, right? Maya Hawke.
I think she's in the process of doing that.
Yeah.
She is blowing up, yeah.
It's closer to her character on season 4 of Stranger Things than season 3.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Did they... Sorry, it was a tangent. Did they noticeably, change her character in those 2 seasons?
A little bit. Not super noticeably.
A little bit, right?
But her character became more... Her character became more defined in season 4.
Right. Season 3, she felt more in charge.
Yes.
But she was... Yeah. I guess it's because who she was dealing with in that.
Yeah, she's dealing almost entirely with Steve, so...
Yeah, so it's like, there's no threat there.
The dude that they're trying to get revenge on in this looks kind of like if you put Timothée Chalamet and Beck Bennett in a fly machine.
Yes!
There's something off
in the teleporter.
You have 35-year-old man face on a 20-year-old's body.
On a bird skeleton.
Yeah. But
I feel like your bones are hollow.
You look like you should be working on Mad Men as a 30-year-old. It's just
incredible.
Something. There's a lot of old face in this movie, which is fun. So
and I'm not familiar with the actor, but he's, from what we see of him in this trailer, he's playing a fantastic douche. So very excited.
Yeah.
We're all very familiar with this.
With this character
person.
He's playing the fake woke D-bag, which is great.
Yeah, so
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Also exciting, the trailer for Bulletproof.
I'm very excited for this.
2 words, not to be confused with the Adam Sandler.
Not to be confused with the 1998 action comedy starring Adam Sandler and Damon Wayans.
Yeah, which I feel like the name Bulletproof are both more or less the same idea. As it's an escort mission where one of them can't be killed, right? Like, if I remember, Damon Wayans is trying to keep Adam Sandler alive.
Yeah, it's
right?
Basically Midnight Run.
Yeah, it's a midnight run. Bulletproof in this case, it's Vinnie Jones's ex.
Well, this is the
pregnant ex.
It's literally the transporter.
It's the transporter. Yeah, this is the
transporter. Well, it's the transporter with the one exception that the person. It's funny because this is all around Vinnie Jones, who's actually the villain. The main character, who is, I don't know, some guy,
some dude named James Clayton. Yeah. I'm not familiar with him.
Yeah, finds a pregnant lady in the trunk, and then she doesn't want to go back to Vinnie Jones, her boyfriend, who is the villain, but clearly is not going to try to kill her because she's his pregnant girlfriend or wife. And so she's basically, the main character is basically using her as a human shield, but she's in on it. Like, she's like the one who's choosing to be the human shield. The main character
does not want any part of this. He just wanted to steal money and leave, and he just gets roped in.
Yeah, he stole a car. I get it. They seem like he's doing a job that involves this car, and then he finds her in the trunk. It's the transporter.
Yeah,
it's the transporter augmented. Yeah, I was about to say, in another world, if this was Jason Statham and Vinnie Jones, this would be a hit. Like, this is very much like not on anybody's radar, but honestly, if this was made 15 years earlier, around, I know, when they made Transporter, I guess.
Yeah. Around this came out in 2005, really, I'd have lost my goddamn mind.
This is the most Lionsgate VOD movie imaginable.
It sure is.
It really is.
You look at this and you're like, oh, this is a fucking Lionsgate.
Yeah, Vinnie Jones is a veteran of Lionsgate VOD.
Yeah, the guy who's the main character who's not Vinnie Jones is so nondescript that they don't even have him until the fourth person that they show in the trailer while doing the credits.
Yeah, he's third or fourth build.
Yeah, and he's the star. So
he's the main character. So
it also looks
he's also the director.
Oh, sure, that checks out.
The writer. He's also the writer and director of this.
That makes a lot of sense now. Okay.
Yeah. This motherfucker needed to cast someone else. I mean, he's been in stuff. He's not an unknown, I guess, but He
doesn't seem bad. It's just a very B-level movie. It looks like they filmed everything in and around the area of the hotel that is prominently in the trailer. Even in the field scenes, it seems like that's just two.
You can see the motel in the background. Yeah, they're all filmed around the same motel and mile stretch of highway, which it could be perfectly awesome. I used to rent movies like this all the time in high school, and sometimes they're pretty sweet. So I literally have nothing else to say about this film.
Yeah, it's just, it's a movie that you will scroll by on a streaming menu several times.
Right.
Probably never watch.
And every time you scroll past it, it'll be like, maybe?
Yeah.
And then you'll
keep...
keep...
Oh, wait, no, that's not that guy. Yeah, you'll think it's some other actor, and you'll be like, oh, no, it's not him. It's just, whoever this director, writer, actor is. Probably craft service guy, too. So, yeah.
He's a real Neil Breen.
What if this movie... I would actually watch Bulletproof if it was the exact same movie, but if it was Neil Breen.
If it was Neil Breen.
Going against Vinnie Jones.
And it all takes place in the same house in Las Vegas he's clearly acting as the realtor on.
Oh, we need this movie to happen. Give us the Breen cut.
Release the Breen cut.
Neil Breen going against Vinnie Jones. That's a good way to spend an evening.
Yeah, he just fucking creep him out. He just creep him out until Vinnie Jones would go, I'm getting out of here. Like, that would be it, right?
Yeah, the pregnant woman would be like, I've clearly made a terrible choice. Vinnie, take me back, please.
Right.
Yeah.
There would be 3 extremely uncomfortable sex scenes.
Yep.
Oh,
God.
Where he shows his ass.
He gets naked.
Yeah, where only he gets naked because it's clear the other actor refused.
Somehow he has magical powers. Just never gets introduced. In Act 3, that's just... He shoots lightning out of his hands. Like,
He'll be revealed to be a celestial being or some shit.
It'll be amazing.
The baby is literally the reincarnation of Jesus, who is also Neil Breen or something. There's something happening.
He's also the time-traveling president.
Yes.
We can move on, Dave. I think we can move on.
Yeah, I think we can, because the next thing is fascinating to me.
Oh, man.
This next trailer is Raven's Hollow.
It's another mystery. It's another movie about Edgar Allan Poe solving a mystery, because the mid-aughts film The Raven starring John Cusack didn't quite scratch the itch sufficiently.
Yeah.
I like how it opens, and they're just in the field, and you see a raven, and you're like, oh, Raven's Hollow. And then they clearly say, Officer Poe, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Oh, it's this Raven.
Are you kidding me?
And then he pushes on a dead body, and it says, Raven. And then it says, the legend begins. I'm like, Edgar Allan Poe's a legend?
I was really hoping instead of the Raven, it was the monkey from In the Room Morgue with the fucking razor blade.
Yeah, just a fucking razor-wielding monkey.
Just goes around, and that's how it opens the trailer. He's like, huh.
It's so... Why? He's not Peter Pan, you know? It's like it's the story you didn't want it, you didn't know.
He's a real human man.
Yeah, he's a real person.
Well, I mean, like Peter Pan, he creeped on teenagers, so there's that.
That's true.
That's extremely true. But yeah, it's like he has... I don't know why we do this. Like, I want to explain it a little bit, because what I will stand by is that this trailer makes the movie look very well shot. The movie looks pretty. Yeah. The movie looks kind of cool. Like, it looks like Sleepy Hollow, the Tim Burton Sleepy Hollow.
And it also has like the witch vibes, where it's like it feels a little like modern horror.
It also has what's her name, Kate Dickie, I think, from The Witch.
Oh, okay.
The Scottish
it does. It does.
Actress.
Yeah. So I think this movie is actually going to be bad.
Probably.
Which isn't a brave statement, but I looked into who made it, because I was like, what the fuck is going on here? The director has made movies like Robotopolis, Battle of the Damned with Dolph Lundgren, and Cyber Wars, and they all feel like movies that are when you look at when they came out, like Cyber Wars was right when The Matrix was hot.
He does
Battle
Asylum
of the Damned
movies.
Yes, they're Asylum type movies. So, which means he's very good at mimicking the look of other movies. I mean, to the point that this looks good because it's mimicking good movies.
This is Asylum art house.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's art house Asylum. And I'm almost certain that's what it is.
Asylum 24.
It's getting released by B23.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? Because I think we talked about this, which is the look of A24 films isn't hard to replicate technically. Like, you can replicate the look, just not maybe the artistic meaning behind them. So that's what seems to be happening here, right? He's just looked at A24 films and went, oh, I can do that. You just set the camera to this, this, and this, You edit it like this and you're good.
I like the idea that this is an Asylum version of either Sleepy Hollow or The Raven, because whichever one it is, it's like 20 years too late.
Yes.
Hearing this guy's filmography and the Dolph Lundgren thing, I kind of wish that he had cast Stallone so Stallone can finally be Poe like he's wanted to for like 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be pretty sweet. Or Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, Dolph Lundgren, yeah. Dolph Lundgren has the Raven and Stallone is Poe. Dolph Logan just in a giant bird suit.
Yes, perfect. No notes. Again, Dolph Lundgren Skeksis.
That actually feels like it would be an A24 movie, though.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren dressed as a bird.
Yeah, like it's just like
Say no more.
Fully artistic, and it's just that. It's like a meditation on action heroes.
Right.
So
I'd watch that.
I mean, I'm gonna watch this piece of shit. It's.
I'm gonna watch it too.
It's gonna be a Shudder exclusive. I don't know why we feel the need to keep putting Edgar Allan Poe, like the real historical man, into Scooby-Doo mysteries, but I mean,
give me my monkey with the razor blade, man. That's all I want.
Honestly, it's not that hard. Yeah. It's not that hard.
Whatever the case, I still want to watch this, and I kind of hope it's good. Because I hope it's like everybody has to be like, yeah, that Edgar Allan Poe Sherlock Holmes movie was good. Like we'll have to just like say that. You know,
good movies have been made from worse ideas.
Mm-hmm. So fuck it.
Yeah.
I hope this is great.
Sure.
Yeah.
I hope it knocks my socks off.
I hope it gets really meta and turns into like an art house horror version of adaptation.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Just go full Kaufman.
Yeah. Speaking of pieces of shit I want to see, we should talk about Margaux.
Margaux.
Spelled Margaux. You
mean the CW's Black Mirror?
Yeah. This is about a group of friends who go to a smart house that is unlike anything a smart house has ever been. It can every room is a 3D printer. It has like arms, like as you put it in the doc, it's Doc Ock.
It's straight up Doc Ock arms. It's fucking Dr. Octopus arms.
The house is impossible, and then sure enough, it's evil, and it starts killing them with ridiculous. Like, here's the thing: if they did like a smart house and it like killed them with like the fridge and blender, I'd be a lot more impressed. But it basically kills them by like 3D printing stuff and like crushing them and using its claws that it inexplicably
has for some reason.
Yeah, like
it's like they got halfway into writing it and they're like, we can't figure out how this house can kill people. I don't know, give us some claws.
Like if you go to an Airbnb and you see that it has appendages from a Spider-Man villain, you're gonna be like, you know what? Yeah, let's get a new one.
Let's go to the Holiday Inn.
Also,
Express.
I like the way we're describing it makes it sounds like the house malfunctions or something, but no, the house is apparently an asshole because it's been like planning and plotting this, and it states out like, yeah, I've been waiting a long time. Like it's very excited to murder these people.
And I'm very excited to watch them get murdered.
Yeah, I do kind of like that idea.
I do. I enjoy the twist. Yeah,
this house is just a sociopath, and it's putting itself onto Airbnb so it can keep luring new batches of victims.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
I also like that. Apparently, nobody understands how 3D printing works in this. Like, there's a scene where like I think a bed starts melting. I'm like, you would never 3D print a bed.
It starts filling.
Right.
There's a couple of shots of where it's like filling rooms with its 3D printer goo, and it's like, it's very like Westworld opening credits.
It's nonsense.
It's gibberish.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
it's pure
nonsense.
gibberish. And we're probably going to watch it.
Yeah, it's from the director of Escape Plan 2, whose name happens to be Stephen Miller. So that's why I had to go ahead and Google it, because I was like, wait, okay, good. He's done a few Bruce Willis like straight to streaming films.
Yeah, sounds about right.
A few Bruce Willis Eastern Bloc films.
Yeah, exactly. This Hypecast is about shitty looking movies that I can't wait to see.
Yeah, this is the amount of trash where it's like enticing to watch as opposed to like Bulletproof where it's like maybe not.
It's a
Bulletproof feels like a
difficult needle to thread. Needle to thread, but I think this movie and the Edgar Allan Poe movie have done that at least in their trailers for me, where it's like, yep, I'm watching the shit out of this.
Yeah,
and honestly, Bulletproof I'm going to watch too because I'm a garbage little slop hound.
Sure, but the secret is to not be winking at the camera, but also to be so bad but also take yourself as seriously. Like, it really is hard to.
Yeah. I was like fully checked out until like it was revealed that the house is just a giant asshole. Like that's really like the ooh, okay. Yeah.
Margaux's just a dickhead. That's it.
Yeah. It's exciting stuff.
It's like John Doe from Seven becoming an AI house.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Just filling notebooks with feverish scribblings.
The funny thing is that like, yeah, without that twist, I'm pretty sure that I've seen this exact premise, but I think it might have been a car in a Lifetime movie before. So it's like, this is the level of like fear that we're dealing with. It's going to be fantastic. See, I can't wait.
That makes way more sense to do a car, because a car can fucking kill you in a very obvious way.
Oh.
So like trapped in a smart car would be like, it's still
like
all
that,
stupid.
they're 100% going to do a new Christine, and that's going to be the change that they make. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like they did with Chucky.
Yeah.
Oh god, you're right. They are going to do Smart Car Christine.
And there's been a few of these movies already. There was one that had, I think, Gary Oldman as the voice of the house.
Yeah, this is a very pleasant, serious-sounding woman as the voice. Yeah.
I think we've covered at least 2 of these movies on Hypecast before.
Yeah, probably.
It's a genre that keeps giving.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
We're breaking bold new ground in the world of suspense horror.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on to The Good House, which is what the last one could have been called. This is white people in New England who are old and rich fucking.
Extremely white problems.
You know how they used to have the thing where like, oh, we fed this AI all of these scripts from this thing, blah, 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 and it put out a movie. This is if you took all of the wine ant posts from Facebook and did that exact thought premise.
It's the most like... So I looked up who wrote it, and very interesting.
It's based on a
background
book, according to the trailer.
Based off a book, okay, and it's one of the writers did fucking a bunch of The Simpsons, like in the 90s. A Monsters vs. Aliens, The Rocker. They let's see, they did Trolls 2, A Dog's Journey, and A Dog's Purpose. They have appeared in every Wes Anderson film.
Who is it?
They're the director of Sorority Boys. Wallace Wolodarski?
Well, yeah, Wally Wolodarski, yeah.
Oh, okay. You know who this is?
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know. That's just a hell of a career. That's not really a judgment on anything, except to say that this feels like it was made by very rich people, because it's just about very rich people having very rich problems. It does,
but it also, for me anyway, looks very charming, and I'm probably going to watch it.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it too.
It's Sigourney Weaver and Kevin Kline, and Sigourney Weaver's like this. She's got like a drinking problem, and her family's intervened. She's finding new romance with this old guy that she used to date back in the day, Kevin Kline, and it's just them being charming together, and I don't know, man.
I feel like we get a bunch of these movies where it's like an older man going through this problem, and like the fact that it's an older woman and that it's Sigourney Weaver of all people is like, okay, that's kind of enough to rope me in. Also, Kevin Kline is always welcome, so
yeah.
Yeah, I am so down with seeing Kevin Kline and fucking Sigourney Weaver just go at it, just hammer each other.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like it should have been a Nancy
very
Meyer
funny.
Movie. Exactly.
It's one of those films that feels kind of extinct. Like The Judge. Like The Judge is another movie where it's just like rich white people having their problems. Although The Judge, the problem is a lot.
The Judge is a courtroom drama, but yeah.
Yeah.
And she also keeps breaking the fourth wall in this, which was very strange.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's terrifying. Has Sigourney Weaver ever broken the fourth wall?
I don't think so. In terms of like talking directly to camera,
that freaked me out.
I think so, but like I don't know.
I was like, she's talking to me.
But Logan, you're totally right. Like 15 years ago, this would have had Diane Keaton.
Exactly. This would have been Diane Keaton and Alec Baldwin
or some shit. So hopefully, somebody way more charming than Alec Baldwin. Fucking troll ass.
It could have been.
But it could have been. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm gonna watch the shit out of this fucking old person movie.
Oh yeah, this is definitely a Sunday afternoon. I'm just like folding laundry. I'm watching this in the background. I will watch the shit out of this.
I kind of want to do get 10 friends, dress up as characters, and go to the theater. Like really get into.
All dressed like Linettes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dress like Kevin Kline, man. I've been waiting to do that for a long time now.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this is.
And
it looks weird.
This is gonna be fun.
If I keep bringing up Lynette, there's a running gag of her being an alcoholic throughout the entire trailer that is not presented as like a fearful thing. It's just charming.
No, it's a charming alcoholic.
The tone around it is a little. I have a feeling the movie's going to hit it a bit harder, but she's definitely an alcoholic.
Oh man,
I don't know. I don't know. This movie looks kind of good, and I'm delighted to see this thing.
Yeah, this movie is just don't think about it too hard. Like it's she's a fun alcoholic. I think that's going to be as far as it really goes with it. I don't think you're going to see her like taking a shit next to her car after like crashing it into a tree or anything. You know, as much as we want to see that. I think it's just going to be it's a fun adult romp.
I do
like a love story about rich people.
I do like that her two movies coming out this year are this and Avatar 2, where she plays a cat teenager apparently.
Which one is the one for me, and which one is the one for them? Because I genuinely am not sure.
Both.
It could go either way.
Yeah, it could be both, man. You don't know. Yeah. You don't know what's in Sigourney's heart.
I really don't.
I like the idea of her just like, I like wine and I like cats. That's it.
Yeah.
And then they have pets, and they eat lobster in one scene.
Yep. It's extremely wealthy.
Yeah, it's wealthy part of Boston.
No, I can't stress how these people are like, they're just living next door to politicians. Yeah. Like, this is...
It's some real Martha's Vineyard shit.
Yeah, it really is.
But it looks delightful.
Which, again, it does look delightful, yeah.
They live where people go for vacation. Rich people go for vacation. That's their life.
They live in Chappaquiddick.
Yeah, pretty much.
They absolutely knew Ted Kennedy before.
Yes.
Before the accident.
Yes. She sold Ted Kennedy a house. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
So I believe she's a realtor in this.
She's a realtor, yes. She's a New England realtor. And they have like one scene where she's like, things are tough. And it's like, how tough could they possibly be?
You only sold two $5 million homes this quarter.
I just sold a smart house that killed a bunch of people.
God, I hope.
That's the connection.
God, I hope. Yeah. All right. Well, final trailer. I am so excited for this. This is called Triangle of Sadness. This just fucking popped up like out of nowhere.
Yeah, I confused it for a different movie that we had already covered, which is I can't remember what it was called, but anyway, it's neither here nor there. Yeah, this was a nice surprise.
Yeah, it's about a super yacht for the rich, which is Captain Woody Harrelson.
Yes,
doing just the best
just
work,
being Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, and it clearly capsizes or something, and they're on it becomes like Lord of the Flies, but with like extremely rich people, like the super rich. So it's basically this, like, it's 2.5 hours, and I assume it's 2.5 hours of watching the super rich just like die,
just get punished. Yeah.
So
the guy who
that looks delightful.
Did Force Majeure, and he also did The Square. So he kind of has this thing where he just likes to go all out on people. Like, did you see either of those? Or?
No, but I've heard of them.
Okay, so Force Majeure is about a dad who, during an avalanche, like, saves himself rather than his family, and then has to, like, deal with them, like, calling him a coward and, like, bullshit and stuff.
Yeah!
Oh, that's right, they remade that one with fucking Will Ferrell.
Yeah, that's the...
They sure did.
And then, The Square, well, yeah, he does seem to be doing geometry movies, so yeah, The Square is just about, like, shitty art people, and just, like, a big, crappy thing. So he just seems to like knocking people down a peg when it comes to that type of thing, and this is right up in that wheelhouse. So.
Yeah, and we love him knocking people down.
Oh yeah,
I gotta watch The Square. The Square has Dominic West and Elizabeth Moss in it.
Yeah, it's they don't. We said that like they have the crash, but it looks like they spend a lot of time on the cruise before it capsizes or whatever, and they just are.
It's hard to
such
say.
Shitty people, and every like review blurb is like, "Yeah, watch the shitty people eat shit. Fuck these people," and it just looks fantastic. So yeah, it's just a movie made for this. Yeah.
It's a lot of the rich people just like throwing up on each other and shit exploding out of their toilets, and that's as the ship is capsizing, and then it's them on this desert island. So it's probably going to be pretty raw.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's going to be delightful.
It's going to go. It looks like it's going to go real hard. So
I cannot wait for Island Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, I assume he's going to become a wild man.
Yes. Yeah.
He's going to be the first one to start.
They do make a point during the trailer while he's like having drunk dinner with some guy to point out that he's a communist, apparently. So, yes, there's definitely going to be something that happens later on.
Yeah, honestly, if you're like a mega rich person getting onto a super yacht and the captain is Woody Harrelson, that's your first sign.
Yeah, it's like Doc Ock arms in your Airbnb.
Doc Ock arms in a house.
Yeah, you walk
out.
No.
We'll take the next super yacht.
Oh fuck! This is so exciting.
This looks pretty great.
It's one of those. You watch like the first like 10 seconds, you're like, okay, this is funny, and then you see like a clip, you're like, is that Woody Harrelson? And then later, oh yes, that is Woody Harrelson. It just keeps growing and growing, and you're like, I absolutely want to watch this fucking movie.
It definitely won't be for everyone though. Like even if you're like super hardcore eat the rich, like it looks like it's going to be pretty
dark,
pretty fucked up. Yeah. So, oh man,
it's coming out around fall. If people are wondering, around the September, October. So that's when to look out for it. This is my Avengers.
Writing that down on my calendar. Yeah, I'm going to set up a fucking countdown timer. You know, you can go to like websites or get that app where it's like counting down to like important dates or something. It's going to be for this movie.
Ooh, yeah. Oh man. Well, that's it for trailers.
Yeah, we did it!
We did it. We can get into news stories, but first we have to thank some people.
I suppose so. I'm just kidding. You guys are great.
Sure. Big thank you to Davey Francis 9. Davey goes to hell.
The final Davey. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you to Oh Great, It's That Guy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Chester's Prophet.
Thank you.
Thank you to Definitely Not Guillermo del Toro.
Thank you. We're on to you, though.
Thank you to Brian, who Tom knows.
He sure does.
Thank you to Bob Grenville.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Stephen.
Thank you.
Thank you to Han Toomey, the confused cyborg.
Thank you so much. How many years has it been? We still don't understand this reference. Let me
never looked it up.
All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to Asking 7.
Thank you.
Thank you to Happy Ed 209.
Thank you.
Sounds like Ed 209's a holiday. Happy Ed 209. Thank you to Manischewitz Maltov says economic solidarity is the path to paradise, comrades.
Thank you.
Well at home with Communist Captain Woody Harrelson. Thank you to Tiger George Pratt Thompson. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you to Dan Hackroyd.
Thank you.
Thank you to Cody Johnson's Time Machine Noise.
Thank you.
Thank you to Pete Vorpagel.
Thank you very much.
And at last, thank you to listen to the hit song Books Are My Aesthetic, theme from If This Book Exists, You're in the Wrong Universe.
Thank you.
Done by the Oral Knots.
Cool.
You guys can look that up.
Yeah, look it up. That's what that's what they want us to
buy
do.
the book.
So,
and buy the book, yes.
So I'm sure there's not much to say here. James Franco is cast as Fidel Castro. That works.
I'm sure.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sure that won't last.
I don't know. John Leguizamo spoke out, and then like the director spoke out against it, but didn't really say anything that was like defending it or like explaining it.
He explained it in the most gibberish bullshit way. He's like, we looked at like the science of facial structures through the years and stuff, and like, you know, the ethnicity of James Franco and stuff, and when you look it up, his face matches Fidel Castro. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's perfect. That's perfect.
It is gibberish bullshit.
Oh yeah, I think I saw a reply to that where someone was like put a picture of what's his name? Mandalorian.
Here it is.
Pedro Pascal. Yeah, and they were like, you know who else looks like him?
Here's the actual quote. We used Fidel Castro's ancient Galician heritage as our focal compass, then comb through the entire ranks of actors with Latin roots in Hollywood to find someone to fulfill him with a familiar facial structure.
So here's my thought on that. I don't think that's how casting
No.
works. I don't think James Franco got a call and they were like, your facial structure matches Castro.
Yeah, that's some serial killer
recruited.
shit.
Yeah. No, what they did is they cast the most famous person they could.
Yeah.
And they didn't care that it was a white guy. That's what happened, right? Like they were just like, we have James Franco. He wants to be in this. All right, let's give it to James Franco.
Yeah, I get to be Castro.
Yeah.
Franco.
This, what a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I can't imagine James Franco as Castro. I'm sure they're going to put a bunch of bullshit on his face, even though apparently a computer proved that you don't have to, or whatever they just talked about. They're going to cover his face with bullshit. He's gonna do a fucking voice, right? He's gonna be like going for
he's gonna
Oscar.
get a tan, and it's gonna be like
it's gonna it's gonna be
get
something.
a tan in a can.
Yeah. This is a.
I did see a few people respond to John Leguizamo like, well, didn't you play an Italian guy in Mario Brothers? And I'm like, that's
absolutely not the same. No. Sit the fuck down. Yeah. It's man. This is like fucking Dominic Cooper's Uday Hussein and what was that fucking movie?
I don't remember.
It was The Duplicate or whatever. He played Uday Hussein and Uday Hussein's body double. And it was like, you're Dominic Cooper, you're not Iraqi.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
I also have to point out that in Mario, wasn't Luigi an orphan? He was raised by Mario in the movie.
Yes, that's true.
And so he's not even actually playing an Italian person necessarily. He's playing himself. Like I don't know. Again, you guys pointed out it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
But it's just very funny that also Mario Brothers, for whatever reason, was like, let's write in a reason
why
also, he's not Italian.
Castro's a real person. Luigi is fiction.
There's also that. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on here. It's perhaps not something they should.
People want to see Franco anymore. I feel like we've moved on to Dave Franco, and we're fine with that.
We should probably just stay there. The superior Franco.
How could they have not seen? It's like the Scarlett Johansson thing in that
Ghost in
the Shell, where it's like, what was the meeting where they walked out of it like, I feel good about this. People are gonna love
it.
This.
It was what you just said, Dave. They cast the most famous person they could.
Yeah.
Right, and they probably knew. They're like, we're going to get shit for this, but we're just going to go ahead and do it.
We got
anyway.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah. No, that is probably mostly what they're thinking, right?
Yeah.
It's just a shame that there's no Latin actors anywhere.
I know, not a single one. They should have, done Schwarzenegger because he likes cigars.
Oh,
so
that would have been incredible.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that would have been. Listen, if you're going to do James Franco, you might as well lean into it, right? And just get a giant Austrian man to play Castro. I feel like if they did that, nobody would complain. They'd be like, I assume there's some fucking reason they would do that, right? Like, if anything, people would be like, okay, we're listening. We're curious.
Right, it would have to be like an Inglourious Bastard situation.
Yeah,
it would. Get Franco to do mocap, and it's going to be a CG Castro. Right. And it's going to look exactly like a Robert Zemeckis character.
Right. It's that there's certain actors. This is why, like, people, I saw that people are, or like we go back and forth with people being like, why does everybody hate Chris Pratt? And it's partially because of who he is, but it's also partially because he's like the punchline whenever a casting decision gets made that seems like a parody. Yeah. Where it's like, Chris Pratt is Mario, and you're like, really? It's the same with James Franco with stuff like this, right?
Right.
Where it's like any headline that's like, James Franco to play like, to do a biopic of like Bill Cosby or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, of course they'd get him. He's the one who's going to put a bunch of shit on his face. And it's the Jared Leto thing. Jared Leto's another one.
Mm-hmm.
It's just white dudes who keep doing dumb shit. Like, eventually, at some point, people get fed up with white dude dumb shit. I mean, there's a long line of, like, shit that'll they'll take, but eventually they get upset with it. And when you go that, you are in the Franco or Leto zone. Yeah.
Right.
Honestly,
that's terrifying phrase. That you're in the Leto zone. Oh no!
No.
I believe it's called. I believe it's called a Leto compound. Right. Yeah. That would be the. Yeah.
It's like a Smash TV sequel. Yeah. You're in the Franco zone. You must shoot your way out.
I like how we got a Steven Soderbergh directed not one but 2 Che movies, and they're both with Benicio del Toro, and it's fine. And then the bookend of this is a Fidel Castro movie with fucking James Franco.
Yeah, ridiculous shit beyond parody. So they're also making a live-action Pac-Man movie.
Sure.
Speaking of Chris Pratt, people were already joking that he'd do the voice.
I mean, yeah, because he's already doing Garfield too. So
yeah, I agree with you. Hard on this one.
Wait, what? Chris Pratt's doing Garfield? How did I?
Yeah, Chris Pratt's voicing Garfield, and there's a Garfield movie coming out.
I missed that.
I would argue that he has more of a right to be Garfield than Mario, right?
Yeah.
In fact, when people were joking that he could do the voice of Pac-Man, I was like, well, I guess why not? Like, there's
we have no frame
of
reference for Pac-Man. Yeah, he could sound like whatever.
Yeah. That said, it would be fun to, have like Werner Herzog or somebody, like someone interesting doing Pac-Man. But Tom Hardy doing a voice,
That's Pac-Man.
Yeah. These are all good options. Yeah, I mean...
to eat all these pellets. They were born in the
I assume they're going to do the meta aspect. How else do you adapt Pac-Man, right?
I really hope.
You do something where it's like Sonic, where it's like he comes into our world.
Well, Sonic has a fully fleshed out story and universe.
You're right. Sonic does,
and honestly, so does Mario.
Pac-Man has a wife and a child. How dare you?
I know. That's what we got to see. We got to see Pac-Man struggle to provide for his family. That's what we got to see.
I just want the trailer to say, you think you know the real story about Pac-Man. You don't even know.
That would be incredible. So that's what I want one of these, because they call it live action. And we all know what that means, right? We know it's live action people working with a cartoon character.
A CGI
And
Pac-Man.
I just want one of these motherfuckers to have the nerve to have Pac-Man be played by a person, like a human that maybe they just paint yellow.
Yeah, they just dye his hair yellow and just give him red shoes.
Danny DeVito. Yeah. Hey, that's what I fucking want. I want that nightmare in my life.
I want this movie just to be Death of the Salesman, but with Pac-Man instead of Willy Loman.
With Pac-Man, just trying to provide for his family and getting ground into submission by the system.
You can even bring back Dustin Hoffman.
You sure could.
I feel like he's in the Franco zone.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing that bums me out about this. It's not like, oh, how could they? Or, what's it going to be? That's impossible. It's more of I can already see how mediocre this is going to end up.
Yeah, it's going to be like the Emoji Movie or some garbage.
I can already see
it's going to be a bunch of celebs doing all the ghost voices, and they're going to have the trailer where it's like the boom, 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 with all of their voices, or their names on there, and you're like, I don't give a shit that Josh Gad is in this movie. Why would I care about that?
Right.
Yeah.
I do totally see that trailer, though, where it's doing the inner world with all the action movie, boom, boom, and then it builds up to one hero. Pac-Man!
Yeah.
Record scratch.
And then just shows every single cast member voice, Sing 2 or every other DreamWorks movie.
Yeah.
It's just,
I will say that I didn't see Sonic 2, but Sonic was fine. That's fine. It's a fine family movie.
It was Sonic was perfectly fine. Yeah. But like you said, it had more to build off of. That's why this feels like it's going to have that meta aspect. Yeah. That's going to... It's going to be isn't it nuts that we... look at us doing a Pac-Man movie. Oh, look, it's Pac-Man.
Lego Movie might have been one of the worst things to happen to Hollywood in the last 10 years.
I know, because it was
good, and it just made them think that they could do it with everything. It's honestly, it's that in the MCU. As much as I love Marvel, everyone thinks that they can just make a cinematic universe out of everything without realizing they don't have Kevin Feige, and it just doesn't work. Dark universe,
right? I would argue what we're identifying there is the pattern of whenever anything does very good, there's going to be at least 10 years of people trying to do that, right?
Yeah.
And failing. Harry Potter, like, we got the fucking...
We got 10 years of The Matrix.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that's how it works. Yeah, it's irritating as shit, but I always rest assured that, like, when the dust settles, we'll only remember the really good stuff, and all the copycat stuff will just sort of sink to the bottom.
Yeah, that's what always happens.
Yeah, no one's going to be talking about Percy Jackson. No. In fact, me saying that's the last time anybody will say Percy Jackson.
That is not true.
Well, they're rebooting it as a series.
Disney Plus series, man. No.
Hard no. You want to should we thank some more people?
Yeah, I think we should thank some more producers.
All right. Big thank you to Del Griffith, the shower curtain fella.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Midnight Patron with Patrons at Midnight. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Exploding Rooms.
Thank you.
Thank you to Andrew, the Proud Satanist.
Hail Satan.
Thank you. Thank you to Vincent.
Thank you.
Thank you to Rev MD.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Bootler Boodleson.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tux. Thank you to Ricky Cilantro.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Norm from Cheers.
Thank you to Lorm from Cheers.
I was going to say Lord from Cheers.
Imagine if Lord was on
Thank you to
Cheers.
Space McNulty.
Oh, man. Thank you, Space McNulty.
Space McNulty.
Yeah, to the opening credits of Cheers. It's just like Ted Danson, fucking Rhea Perlman, Woody Harrelson, the Lord. Oh, yep. You mean Lord the singer.
It could be both.
It could be just Jesus
Lord,
Christ.
and then the Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, let me jump in here. Thank you to your mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Thank you to Nolan, Tubi, Stark, Harold, Mayton.
Thank you.
Thank you to Andrew. Follow Marina on Twitch and Patreon at HeartFistBrain McGuire.
Thank you.
Thank you to AJ. Thank you to Tip Drezel.
Thank you.
Thank you to Burrito Mouth.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Ghost of Dave Thomas.
Thanks.
Thank you to Aaron Burser.
Thank you.
Thank you to Christopher Robert Sparts, Esquire.
Mm.
Thank you to Mackenzie Fuck Shuffling with Willem Dafoe's confusingly large dick, Chill.
Thank you.
Thank you to Funky J.
Thank you.
And thank you to Pie Guy.
Thank you, Pie Guy.
Dave, I've been out of the game for a bit. I've been chopping wood in a cabin in the north, until the general came back, that being you. You showed up in a beret, and true. You said, we need you, Tom, now more than ever.
Yeah, that's what happened.
So I've been out of the game for a while, but now that I'm back, I'm back. I've got just one question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have a movie that deserves more hype?
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
I do. I actually do. This time, this one time.
Feels good to be back.
This movie, I don't have much on this movie, except for the fact that it's called Tiny Cinema. It comes out on VOD September 6th. I think it's limited release in theaters a couple days earlier than that. It is a... wow, the word for it just fucking
anthology
left
film.
My body. Anthology film, thank you. I saw the word as it faded into the darkness.
Evacuated.
As a dyslexic, that is a very frequent thing that happens to me. I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's an anthology film, but it's done by just one director. And it's the director of a film called Butt Boy. Butt Boy was a movie about a guy who was convinced he was killing people by sucking them up into his butt. I have not seen Butt Boy, but it got very good reviews. So take from that what you will.
Or at least better than I expected.
What?
Or at least better reviews than I expected.
Yes. Yeah. And this is just a series of stories. And if you watch the trailer definitely alludes to some really fucked up weird stuff. There's like a shot of a bank robber or a convenience store robber with just a full erection. There's a bunch of weird shit in this trailer. It looks like they all kind of tie together.
Because I went and looked at this guy's IMDb, and it says it has this Tiny Cinema as a movie that's coming out, but it also has another thing called Tiny Cinema, and it looks like he did 80 episodes of it. And then it also had another Tiny Cinema that said a pilot, and it's coming out too. So I think maybe he just has a bunch of shorts that he does under this label, and I think maybe he did it as a show earlier. This is maybe the Tales from the Dark Side movie of that or something.
I suspect the same, because it seems like they talk about it as Tiny Cinema as a
collective.
Like a collective, yeah, exactly. So it feels like he's loves the name and doesn't quite know where it belongs or something.
This
also seems to have like a zombie.
There's
story.
definitely like one where it's like a zombie on a date with a lady. The vibe that I got from this trailer was the Doom generation, if that reference means anything to anyone.
Ooh, wow, yeah,
not like that.
Shit.
It's
Doom generation,
real
man.
grimy.
Yeah. That is a grimy fucking movie.
But I'm getting a real grimy vibe, like a gonzo grimy vibe from this, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I like some of Doom generation.
Like this is more intentional comedy though, than like
a little bit.
But yeah, I can't get a feel for this, but it does seem interesting.
Right. That's the thing. Is it's really like it's not quite like the Daniels, where it's like, oh, this is purposefully outrageous. Mm-hmm. It's more like sinister than that. But then when you hear the concept of like Butt Boy, you're like, that sounds silly, right? Like it's a very. This is a filmmaker I'm really keeping an eye on now, because I do feel like people like the Daniels have opened a door to weirder shit, where like people like the whoever's behind the Greasy Strangler could like end up getting like a deal with A24, where it's like we're looking out for that a little more now, which is like
I feel like we're
bizarre.
in the
and this is
I feel like
bizarre.
We're kind of in like an alt horror thing, kind of like how with horror, it feels like we're getting into like this alternate weird stuff with horror that we kind of hit with comedy, maybe early in like the aughts with like Adult Swim stuff and things like that. But I feel like things like this are kind of, like you said, Greasy Strangler thing, like that one had been made 10 years ago, let alone like enjoyed by some people. So it's like, yeah, there's some weird shit going, and it's kind of interesting. So
right, which isn't to say this looks like that. This doesn't look like Gross Out. It should be noted. It just looks bizarre and sinister and intriguing, which is why I put it on this
it's like podcast. A very weird, it's like if you took the weird segment that's in every VHS and just like made an entire thing with just all of the vibes of the weird one.
Right.
Like all Ratmas.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Oops, all Ratmas.
Yeah.
Somebody make that for us.
Yeah. And the other poster, and this,
Yes, yeah. Oh, man, so Tiny Cinema. VOD September 6th.
That's correct.
And folks, that's a sewed!
Oh, yeah!
Man, did you guys hear the bad Joe reverberate there when I did that?
No,
the bad Joe
angered the bad Joe.
I didn't, but I felt it.
Logan, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Of course. What do you want to plug? What do you want to tell people? What do you got going on?
We got a bunch of good stuff coming out at Cracked. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @TheLoganTrent, and leave a review for this podcast and all of our friends' podcasts. So, yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Do that.
Yeah, do that thing. Dave, now you tell them things.
We have a Patreon, patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. If you go on there, you can get exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac. There's also some ones we do with the Small Beans, like fucking Spiel Boys and Star Trek: The Next Futurama. We watch movies every Friday night with our patrons. That's the night this is coming out.
Sure is.
And there's a bunch of other stuff on there, so check it out.
Indeed. We also have a store. Head over to GamefullyUnemployed.com where you can find a link to our Teespring store. We have all kinds of cool original artwork and designs that you can get on t-shirts, mugs, stickers, posters, all sorts of stuff. So slap your little peepers on that. And that's it. That's all. That's all. That's all the things.
Videos, Tom? Did you do?
What?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't need to hear about that. I mean, if you can check out Weird History if you want to on YouTube. I'm producing over there. But mostly it's the Gamefully stuff. So yeah, that's it. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye. Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, CORLEW, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com.
Our channel artwork is produced by Michael Vincent Bramley. You can find more of his artwork at instagram.com/mvbramleyart. Our episode artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at JustinTBrown and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info. Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.